Hey, what's going on? I'm Matt O'Leary back with another video. Today we'll be talking about Jarrad Davis and how he will be out for the next 2 months, unfortunately. Before we get started today, I just wanted to mention you can follow me on social media at Matt O'Leary NY. If you haven't already, please make sure to check out the Just Jets podcast and the Clips channel. You can find that in the description below. And subscribe if you're new. So in the offseason, the Jets clearly were looking to improve on the defensive side of the ball, and they brought in Carl Lawson and Davis, and both of those guys are injured. Lawson, in practice during the week before the Green Bay game, lost for the season, tore his Achilles, done for the year. And now Davis, in the preseason game against Green Bay, he gets injured. He'll be out until the bye week, which is week 6. So 2 months pretty much for that. The week from hell. Everyone was getting hurt in Green Bay. It was ridiculous. Hopefully the injury bug is beyond the New York Jets at this point, but really rough week in Green Bay. And Davis, while struggling in Detroit, part of the reason was because of usage. I think a lot of people would agree that he wasn't necessarily used in the best sense in Detroit under Matt Patricia's defense, but he was going to be a big factor in this New York Jets defense, because when you look at the linebacker crew, outside of C.J. Mosley, there was a lot of opportunity there. You figured that Davis was going to be locked in as a starter, and then it looked like Hamza Nasruddin was also going to be a starter, and I'm sure he will. But now with Davis out for at least the first 5 games of the year, someone else is going to have to step up into his place, and it looks like it's going to be a youngster. I expect Jamien Sherwood to step up in that spot. He was a late-round pick in this past year's NFL draft. And Robert Saleh had an interesting quote today. I'm going to read it to you. He said, "I want to make sure I say this right. I'm not comparing him to Fred yet. He's got a long way to go, but Fred played nickel in college and was maybe 220, 225 in his rookie year. We threw him in at Mike linebacker, started him day one, and he took off." I'm not saying he's going to turn into Fred Warner, but I think this kid could play linebacker. When you look at his numbers in college, he was actually better against the run than he was in pass coverage, and he was an incredible tackler. He only missed 5.6% of his tackles in college. That's incredible. That's an elite level tackler. And like I said, he was not great in coverage, but he's absolutely someone who could survive. I mean, he played the position of safety, moving him to linebacker and limiting who he would have to cover, I'm sure would help, and then letting him, get after it in the run game. I think he's going to be, pretty solid in that role. And let's be honest, with today's NFL, there's going to be a ton of 3 wide receiver sets the Jets are going to be going up against. How many times are they going to have 3 linebackers on the field? I'm going to say probably not too many times. Of course, depending on the situation, but you would imagine that more often than not, it's going to be 2 linebackers on the field. And I would think that it was originally going to be Davis and C.J. Mosley, but now I think it's going to be C.J. Mosley and Nasruddin. But still, expect Sherwood in the mix, especially on special teams. I think he's going to play a pretty big factor there. But even more of a role now for a late-round rookie, which is what you saw last year with Bryce Hall, and it's what you're going to see from Hamza Nasruddin. It's these guys are going to play right away, which on a rebuilding team isn't necessarily a bad thing. And of course, I want Davis back. He's a much better player, and I think he's, obviously he's playing for another contract. He only signed on a 1-year deal, so it's really tough for him to miss time. He's going to have to come back strong and finish the season strong with 11 games, maybe something around that mark he'll play this year if he's lucky, and hopefully, cash in on a new contract. But it's tough, man. It's been brutal with injuries in the preseason, and with 1 more week of preseason to go, the Jets play on Friday against the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm just hoping that everyone's healthy at this point. Let me know what you think in the comments below. How big of a miss is Davis going to be to this defense? Who steps in his place? Does it change a lot? You guys let me know in the comments or on social media. Once again, I'm Matt O'Leary NY. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'll talk to you next time.